Hey guys, it's the MCU Jedi, and welcome to my spoiler review of Avengers Infinity War. If you haven't seen the movie, go over to my non-spoiler review. That video should be up right now. So go watch that if you haven't seen the movie. And if you have, welcome. I'm going to be talking about everything, really, in this video. So, first thing I actually want to start with is the opening ship with the Asgardians. My friend and I saw it, and we were wondering, like, why didn't they show Xandar? Because we see the movie, and, like, the first clear shot of Thanos we get, he has the gauntlet and he has the Power Stone. But then Thor mentions last week he destroyed Xandar, and I was like, that's perfect. Dude, we don't really need to know what happened. We just know Thanos went to Xandar, wiped out half the people, took that stone, got out of there. I think it's perfect. Thor says that one sentence, and we know exactly what happened. But right away, this sets the tone. We don't get that Marvel theme as the logo comes in. It fast forwards to Thanos' ship, the Sanctuary 2, shooting at the Asgardian ship, and there's like a really there's a sound of like an emergency um, signal going out, and it's like all like destroyed and not cracky, scratchy, because the ship's been destroyed. And supposedly, I didn't see it, but supposedly Thanos cut the ship in half so that only half the Asgardians survive, because, he's only killing half of everyone. And then, right away, the first person that dies is Heimdall. Like, just right off the bat. Thanos, he teleports Hulk out of there after, Hulk fights Thanos. And then, Heimdall teleports Hulk out of there, then just kills Heimdall. Like, I was like, jeez. Like, I thought Heimdall would maybe live, or I thought Heimdall was Soul Stone, honestly. I thought Heimdall was probably the Soul Stone. Um, or I thought he was just going to die at the beginning, but they made a huge effort to actually show us Heimdall dying, which was sad right off the bat. And then they follow that up with Thanos crushing Loki's throat and throwing him on the ground next to Thor. And then the ship blows up. And right off the bat, you lose those two characters. And you're like, this is going to be a very different Marvel movie. But I do like that all the different groups of characters in this movie have different tones. All the Cap stuff is serious. I don't think they really made one joke with all the Cap stuff. The Guardians were funny, especially like even the tense scenes, like when Thanos had Gamora and Star-Lord's like, put her down or I'll blow that scrotum-looking chin off your face. Like, it's still funny because it's the Guardians. And then like the Tony stuff is a mix between humor and seriousness, which is perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping for, and that's exactly what I got. So no complaints there. Now in my non-spoiler review, I mentioned that the way they tone down Vision's power is like, okay, it's right off the bat. Corvus Glaive just shoves his staff right through Vision's chest, and it makes him weak throughout this movie. Like when he's fighting, and they just keep beating him like he can't stay strong. They have to tone him down because Vision is way too OP. So like part of me is like, okay, that's good, but then there's part of me that's like, really, this is Vision in this movie. But I don't really have too many complaints because I see like all these characters, if Vision was that powerful, they really wouldn't stand a chance, because Vision at his most powerful is a very formidable opponent. We saw him in Ultron, we saw him in the airport battle. He's very dangerous at full power. I do like how all that damage lasted. Like there was a yellow gash right here, and you could see like the yellow, and then he's all like shot up here. And like he actually looked wounded, like he was holding his side and limping, and Falcon had to like carry him along. And then the scene I mentioned where you really sympathize with Thanos is by far one of the most. There's two very shocking scenes. One of the most shocking scenes when they're on Vormir and Red Skull is there, and it's the Soul Stone. They're like, the only way you can get to the Soul Stone, Thanos, you have to kill the person you care most about, right? And Gamora's all taunting him. And then he just throws Gamora off the side, and then the Soul Stone comes. I'm like, yes, she's actually dead then, but there's no way they can fake that. It's a soul for a soul, so Gamora's dead. So I don't think they're gonna bring her back, honestly. I really want there to be lasting consequences, and at least one Guardian should die. I mean, I could see them bringing her back, for Star-Lord reasons, but I'd really prefer if they didn't undo everything in this movie in 4 or in the future. So, I don't know, it's so sad though that Gamora died, and it was like a slow-mo, then they showed her body on the ground all like that, and you're like, oh yeah, she's dead. Now, the Soul Stone reveal, I might sneeze, but the Soul Stone reveal itself, oh, there we go, that shocked me. I was expecting someone was the Soul Stone. I thought Tony was going to be the Soul Stone. He died, and it would, like, come out of his mouth, kind of like Sirius's soul did in Harry Potter, and then Thanos would get it. But no, he got 4 stones, like, in the first half of the movie, and then spent the last half of the movie going for time and mind. Now, I said that, Cap's reveal had my theater clapping. Oh my god, I did not like Cap up until this movie. Like, I liked to Winter Soldier, I hated him in Civil War. I was like, horrible character. This kind of out of character for him, honestly. But in this movie, he was a beast. When he just caught Proxima Midnight staff like that and walked out of the shadows, my entire theater was clapping like crazy. And then they play the Avengers theme as they beat the Black Order, and then I was like, they showed a clip of them fighting the Black Order, and I was like, okay, they're gonna get back up and then kick their butts, and that's it. Not at all. They just teleported away, which, I mean, kind of makes sense. They were very heavily outnumbered there and outmatched, because they were not, it was practically a sneak attack. Like, Black Widow just shoves the spear up through Corvus. He didn't see it coming. So it makes sense they went away, and then that means we got to see him in Wakanda, which was sick, because I thought we were just going to lose the Black Order, like, really early. But that brings me to Ebony Maw, because this guy is way too OP. He can use the Force. He's like Magneto. He's like Jean Grey. He's like everyone, basically, and he's the first one to go. When Spider-Man mentions doing thing from Aliens, they blow a hole in the ship, and he flies out into space and freezes. Which kind of sucks. It would have been really cool to see him in Wakanda, but I can see why. Like, he is way too overpowered. It's not a fight that way. Like, he just keeps torturing. Like, the scene when he tortures Strange, it's creepy. Like, feels like there's spiders or snakes crawling all over you. It's so weird. Does anyone else think that Ebony Maw looks like Cad Bane? Because I do. I think he looks like a hairy, gray Cad Bane. And in one scene, it cannot be unseen either. Like, go find a picture of Cad Bane and put it next to a picture of Ebony Maw. They look the same. Now, I want to skip forward a bit to the other scene, my non-spoiler, that I mentioned where the entire audience was cheering, but I couldn't say it because it was not a spoiler. And guys, that's the best scene in the movie, in my opinion, one of the best scenes in the MCU. It's the scene when the Outriders have taken down the Hulkbuster and they're clawing their way through. And then they beat Cap, and Cap's just sitting there like that. And then you see Stormbreaker fly through a portal, whirl around, take everyone out. And then Thor catches it, and they start playing the Avengers theme. And then Groot and Rocket go, and he yells, "Bring me Thanos," and they all charge into battle. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. It's such a good scene. It's my favorite scene from the movie. And like I said, it's one of the best scenes in the MCU. The entire audience was going nuts during this one. Like, it was like, at least like 30 seconds of applause. Like, Cap's was just like that. No, Thor's was like 30 straight seconds of like, oh, it's about to go down. I even leaned over to my friend and said that. I was like, dude, it's about to go down. But then there was a moment, I forgot to mention it in my non-spoiler, but there was a moment during the Wakanda battle where I was like, why would you do that? That's so stupid. And that's the scene when Scarlet Witch jumps out of Shuri's lab to save everyone on the ground. And I can see why she is. She's like, I don't want them to die. But you have to think, the Mind Stone or them? Because she was their only defense. Like, Shuri had her, like, sonic cannon things, but they weren't powerful enough to take on Corvus Glaive. Whereas Scarlet Witch could have taken him down. Which kind of irritates me that she jumped out, and then Corvus Glaive came, and like, we have a Vision situation, and then Vision fought, and I was like, okay, so now Scarlet Witch is gone, Thanos is gonna go, rip the stone out of his head, Vision dies. Like, I predicted the rest of the movie. I just did not expect Snap, which was a serious shocker. Like, when he's sitting there and Thor shoves the Stormbreaker in him, and it's like, you should have gone for the head, and they put his hand up. I was like, oh, he's gonna do it, and they snapped. And I was in shock for a minute. I was like, he just wiped out half the universe. Like, there's only 3.5 billion, more like 4 billion people on Earth at this point. You have to remember that. It was so shocking. And then Thor's like, what'd you do? And he just teleports away. And then you're sitting there, and then Bucky's the first one to go, too. Like, he just, whoom, right down, disintegrates. And I'm like, oh, they're going. I was like, this is I braced myself. I was like, this is gonna be sad. We're gonna lose some good ones here. We lose Groot again, so we lost him in the first Guardians, and then we lost him in Infinity War. Except that this is his son, so Rogers had to watch a Groot die twice. That was so sad. I am Groot, and then he ashes away. That was Sam and Scarlet Witch dying. I feel like was kind of anticlimactic. Like they just faded away. Um, and then when Titan is where the real sadness was. Well, Black Panther died, so that's the moment that I knew. I was like, so none of this is gonna last because there's no way Black Panther's just dead now after one movie, or two movies, but one Black Panther movie. There's no way he's dead. They already have a second Spider-Man movie planned, so I know Spidey was coming back, but like, they are for sure undoing this now because they killed Black Panther. If they killed Okoye or Shuri, then I'd be like, okay, so maybe none of it's gonna stay. But I did hear a rumor that maybe he is permanently dead and Shuri's gonna become the Black Panther, which I don't know, that'd be pretty cool. But I love T'Challa. But on Titan is where the it gets you freaked out because like Drax and Mantis go, and then Strange is like, hey, or no, the Guardians go, and then Strange is like, sorry, Tony, was the only way, and then he fades away, which I actually have a question about, which I'll bring up later. And then Tom Holland's acting in this scene is great. I actually cried in theater when Spider-Man died. He's just a scared teenager. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Then he hits the ground. You know, he's like, I'm sorry, and then fades away. And Tony feels tremendous guilt. And I wonder if Aunt May lived, what do you think she's gonna be like when she realizes that Peter died? I don't think it's gonna be good. And then I wonder what her reaction was when Peter didn't come home that day. I wonder what her reaction was when she realized that Peter was Spider-Man. I wonder if we're ever going to figure that out. But, so, yeah, here's my question. So, Strange said he went forward in time to see all possible outcomes, and that he would be willing to let Tony and Spider-Man die to protect the Time Stone. And then he willingly gave it to Thanos, which means you have to guess. You're like, yeah, that's clearly the outcome that wins, is they have to do that. And then somewhere in there's like a second or two where Thanos is vulnerable to be taken out. So, but the thing is, you go to Doctor Strange, and the Ancient One could see everything except past where she dies. So if Strange dies there, how do you see anything past that to where they win? Like, it kind of confuses me. I don't know. I might have to watch Doctor Strange again and see if they mention it. If any of you guys know, put it in the comments if it's in the comics or anything, because I haven't read I never read any Doctor Strange comics. I just love the character so much. So if you guys know, put that in the comments, because it's a question I've had the last couple days since I saw the movie, actually. And then the post-credit scene was great, because they got, you know, this was Nick Fury. And then you have, like, people are just dying left and right, and you're like, yeah, so this is universe-wide, too. You have to remember that. Like, half of the universe is gone. And then Hill goes away, and then Fury goes away and drops the thing and signals Captain Marvel. And, you know, Hawkeye's not in the movie, and right then I'm like, yep, the original 6 Avengers and Captain Marvel are going to be the key to Avengers 4. That's what's going to fix all of this, is those 7. And since Captain Marvel's film comes out before then, we'll already have character development. She will have been around the MCU for almost 30 years, if this is in the 90s, so it's going to be like around 20, 30 years since her character has been around. So we'll for sure have character development for her. I'm guessing Infinity War is going to mostly be about her and Hawkeye. Because, yeah, Hawkeye was not in this movie, which surprised me. But that final scene where Thanos is in that shack and he just sits down, smiles, and looks at the sunset, I was like, I don't want to say I feel happy for Thanos, because I don't. But in a way, you're like, what? Well, because Thanos believes what he's doing is good. In a way, you're kind of like, well, you're not glad he did it, but you kind of, I don't really know how to express it, because I'm trying not to sound like a psychopath here the way I say it, but I'm just moving on. I can't even think of how I want to say this without sounding like I'm psychotic. But yeah, Thanos overall was a great villain, and then that scene where he throws a moon, he didn't throw a moon, it was a cop-out, he threw pieces of a moon. And then the Iron Spider is amazing. He's just, like, that in the trailer he's webbing through there. That's not at all what happened. He had his legs wrapped around Mantis and he's going through there. It looked so cool. And then I see when they're in the ship and he just shoots and the legs fly out and it just grabs the side. So he doesn't get sucked into space was great. The bleeding edge armor is great. It might be too OP. But I don't know. I like how they handle it. It doesn't come out of his skin. It's in the little arc reactor thing. He hits it. Or he pulls the strap on his hoodie, then hits it. And it comes out over his body, which is cool. And I love when Thanos ripped his mask off and he just made another mask over it. Like, I have to remember, he can do that. This isn't like his other suits where if the mask comes off, the mask's off. No, if the mask comes off, he'll just make himself a new mask. I love how he utilized it, too, when he was fighting Thanos and he had, like, he pulled his shield out and then went at him and did that. And then, like, obviously he failed with the blade, but he, like, blocked and then attacked with the blade. But, you know, then Thanos ripped it off and stabbed him with it. But he lived, so that's good. But I really did love how he utilized the bleeding edge armor. Especially in that New York fight when he had the cannons on his arms and then those, like, separate cannons that came out. And I was, like, watching, I was like, oh, yeah, this all started with a suit in a cave. Like, remember that. Like, 48 suits later? Or 49. I think 49. Some people said it's 50, but, okay, so we have 47 from Homecoming, and then there's the Hulkbuster and the Bleeding Edge in this one, so that should be 49, right? So then we don't have 50. We should have 50 soon. Unless I miscounted, tell me, because I'm pretty sure we've only had 49 Iron Man suits. God, what else? Oh, the way the Black Order died was so funny, and just Proxima Midnight just got thrown onto the Thresher. I don't know, Cole Obsidian's death, I thought was pretty, that was pretty dark. He blew up. Like, he was, like, on the shield, and I can't, what did they do? I can't remember, but he blew up. The scene when Vision dies is so sad. And he dies twice, too, like, imagine that, okay? So Scarlet Witch is sitting there frying the stone, then he blows up. Then all of a sudden he comes back the other way, wakes up, there's a hand right here ripping his life force out. And then the way he does it too, like, Vision's all like worried and then just rips it and then he just goes dark. And then Thanos just throws him to the side and he hits the ground all like that. The way it looks when he puts the final stone in the gauntlet, it looks kind of funny because it's just, he's so colorful, but at the same time you're scared because you're like, he can snap his fingers any second now. So, I mean, Thor could have ended it. Now, last thing I want to talk about before I end this spoiler review is 30-foot Peter Dinklage. That was hilarious, because I was expecting Peter Dinklage. Like, when they said a dwarf, I was expecting, like, an actual-sized Peter Dinklage. No, the dwarves in this movie are apparently really big. And, yeah, so Peter Dinklage was 30 feet tall, so that was hilarious. The whole Stormbreaker scene I thought was good. The lead-up to it of them just flying around, I didn't care for so much. But that final scene with when, like, they're finishing the Stormbreaker and Groot finally gets off his video game and puts the branch in there and then cuts it, and then Thor, like, there's the little lightning that he calls the Stormbreaker. And that's what I knew. I was like, he's going to fly into Wakanda and just end this whole... Well, actually, I didn't think he was going to fly into... I thought he was... Honestly, though, of all of them, I thought he was going to go to Titan. But then the portal came down, I was like, that is Thor. And it was so cool when Thor arrived. And then Groot running into battle was funny. But you kind of do feel bad for Thor when they're flying. And he's like, so Thanos killed your brother, huh? He's like, yeah. It's like, you got a father? He's like, or no, you had to kill your sister? Yeah. What about your father? He died. Your mother, killed by a dark elf. Best friend stabbed with her. I was like, man, Thor doesn't have anyone. Like, he just has the Avengers, but they're all gone. Like, everyone he, like, truly cared about is all gone. It was really sad. But guys, that's gonna be it for this spoiler review. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. So, yeah, that's gonna be it. Leave a like, comment your thoughts on Infinity War down below. And then subscribe and hit that bell icon to receive all notifications from me. That's gonna be it. I'm the MCU Jedi, out.